Live from the A-OK production house, studio number 2, I'm Nick O'Kelly.
And I'm Derek Daisy.
And it's this guy here singing, for those of you in studio with us tonight on the song.
That's right, that was me. To the Echo Radio.
Some very special guests in studio. You know, we get very excited for in-studio guests.
Yeah.
We started this show, and it was mostly call-in guests from Canada, believe it or not.
Yeah, we got a lot of people from Canada. Man,
so, Haley Mae Campbell.
Hey,
welcome.
What's going on?
And band, I should say. Zach and Jeff.
That's right.
Boom.
Boom.
Jeff's scared of talking now. Now I scared him too much.
I know,
you told me not to talk to you.
We'll just turn you down.
Perfect.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's a little intimidating when you start talking on the radio. You know, all of a sudden, it's like, you know. And that's why when we have people in studio, I have that 1 second where I'm like, ugh, you know, I got to shake it off.
Well, because as we were telling him right before the show started, last time we did this, the microphone stand over here just fell and collapsed.
Fell off.
And then the guy had to grab the microphone and just hold it.
Yeah.
Because we just...
Awesome.
Yeah.
It was very unprofessional.
It was hilarious.
It was not my fault.
Yeah, it was 100% your fault.
So, Haley, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
How are
it's
you?
great to be here. I'm doing fantastic.
I can't believe this on a tour right now, correct?
Yeah, a little bit. We were in Charlotte last weekend for Labor Day weekend, had 3 shows, and we had 3 shows, 4 if you count this one. I'm counting this one this weekend, so we're living it up.
I have to say, I apologize because we got an email from your manager, which I saw this morning, that said, come out to her show Friday night. And I, of course, would have come. We were slack with the email last week.
No time machine.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Sorry.
It's all good. It does not. I'm not holding it against you. Don't worry.
Okay, good. I've been worried all day.
No, I will say, forget about me. You're missing out on Jerry Jacobs' band if you missed the Friday night show at the Windjammer.
Oh, yeah.
It's, our good friend from Nashville. We came down here this weekend to do the Windjammer show with him, and he's a class act. He's amazing. So. Yeah, check him out. He's a Charleston guy, too.
Charleston?
So, yeah.
Oh, cool.
And that's the other thing I was going to say that I did not realize, that you are originally from here.
Yes.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. So, okay, so
Charleston or Somerville or...
Isle of Palms.
Isle of Palms. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. I like
not the
beach.
place to be this week, evidently.
Well, yeah.
I mean, last time there was a hurricane, my family literally just sat in my house and watched the Clemson game, and we had power the whole time.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Excellent.
So we take our chances. We're pretty lax about the hurricanes at this point.
Yeah. We were talking a few minutes ago. I was here during Hugo. They come and go when you live in this area.
Yeah.
So.
That one was definitely real. But
that
ever
one's
since
all right.
then, I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, every year they make it out to be the worst thing in the
I
world.
know.
I think
we're
it's
all
like,
probably
Ned's
going
probably
to
not
die.
even going to come here at
Yeah.
all, just like last time.
I think it's because of Hugo. They feel like if they don't hype it up, then they're going to be like held.
And they always compare it to
responsible.
Hugo. It's like, well, you know, this one's probably going to be 10 times worse than Hugo. We're all going to die.
Yeah, so stock up on your water bottles.
Yeah.
And, I mean, all that's going to happen is there's going to be some people kayaking downtown. And that's pretty much like a monthly thing at this point.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Just a rainy
not
day.
not super worried, but of course I'll probably end up eating my words. This will be like the one time I'm
sometimes words are delicious.
Yeah,
so,
I love
Yes.
words. Words are great.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so do us a favor, and there you go.
Yeah, hey.
Do us a favor.
Sound effects.
Introduce yourself to our listeners.
Yeah.
What's your story? How'd you get to Nashville? Go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my name is Haley Mae Campbell, and I am from Charleston, as we just talked about. And I moved to Nashville just over a year ago, so it's been pretty crazy so far, adjusting to not only life in, another place where I have never been before, but, this is my first time, like, kind of moving out and being on my own. So that was definitely fun and interesting and terrifying all at the same time. But I know how to make, like, 3 meals now. I'm not just living off of ramen anymore, so...
Okay,
Ramen's
hold on
awesome,
a second.
Ramen is awesome.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Stop
but
the
for
presses.
the first month, I'm like...
What are the meals?
Yeah.
Because...
I can make really good shrimp tacos.
Hey,
Ooh.
I
that's-
can make salmon.
This is
Ooh,
high.
okay.
This is high society.
Yeah, it
And
is.
I can make, like, fettuccine Alfredo.
Wow.
That's it.
I'm
though.
impressed.
Oh,
It's
so
all-
literally 3 meals.
Yeah.
That's pretty
what
much
you
it, yeah.
learned.
I am.
Or
Cereal?
variations of, like,
I am
those
very
two
impressed.
variations.
So Derek and I worked at the concession
crossover.
stands in college, and we couldn't make anything. but we did steal Chick-fil-A sandwiches and hot dogs from the concession
Oh,
stands.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Well,
Worth
much
it.
better than what we did.
Zach
At
made,
what I assume is your age. I
Zach
don't know.
made me stop at Chick-fil-A on the way down here because he's like, I have this gift card I need to use from Christmas, and it had $2 on it.
wow.
So we went all
That
the way
was
to Chick-fil-A
worth it, Zach.
for that $2.
every penny.
Oh, my
$2.
God.
Worth every
I don't.
penny.
Can $2 buy anything at Chick-fil-A?
No, it just
No.
gave him like the tax off
Yeah.
of whatever
Oh.
he so desired.
I think it's hysterical that they have people standing outside of the window to hand you your food now. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I saw last time I went there was someone standing outside of just the ordering window because that was broken.
Yeah.
It was just somebody taking the orders, and they made them stand outside.
Yeah.
I don't
I was
think
like,
it's broken.
I would just be like drive-through close, like go inside.
This
I
is
would
what
not.
this is what they're doing now.
Yeah.
It may not have been broken. I think that's just what they're doing.
Oh, that's worse.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, they do it all the time.
Yeah, it's that personal
Unless
touch.
they're all broken, they
No,
get a
no.
different company. I don't.
Someone convinced them that it was a good idea.
Yeah. Well, I guess the customer
That's
service
upsetting.
aspect. I don't
I
know.
hope they're getting overtime for that. I would not want to be standing outside in Charleston in the heat. Nope.
I mean, can you imagine that at like McDonald's? Like if they waited out, I always feel like a criminal. Like not. I feel bad. I feel like I'm ruining their day.
I feel like a criminal too, generally.
Generally, yeah, just most of the time.
Yeah.
Probably just because of the crimes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, a man's got to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick, is that a new one?
No.
No. Okay.
No,
You've
always
been
there.
saving that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
All
do.
right. I'm just making sure.
All right, but the point of this is about you.
Yeah.
I forgot what we were talking about. I was having too much fun talking about
That's
Chick-fil-A.
what's going to happen here. So
Yeah, we go off on tangents.
Yeah. We want to get to know you.
Yeah, okay. Well, I started out doing musical theater when I was a kid, and I really liked being on stage. I just didn't realize at the time that I was a terrible dancer and a terrible actress. But I seem to have like a little knack for the singing thing. So I, obviously started taking lessons and learning how to kind of control my voice better, and I did a lot of classical stuff, and I was like, nah, okay, got the like basics down, so then where do I go from there? And I got a guitar when I was 13, and obviously the rest is history. I've been writing songs and singing them ever since.
What was the first song you learned on guitar?
Yeah.
Oh,
And if it was Creed, don't even say
I
it.
swear to you, no, it was an Owl City song.
okay.
With
I'm
arms
ashamed.
wide open. Owl City, what? Fireflies?
It was The Bird and the Worm by Owl City, which is
okay.
a very
That's,
B-sides Owl City song, but it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good song.
Deep track, we would call that.
Yeah.
It's a really good
In the
song.
biz.
In the biz, yep.
He's got some good songs. I like Owl City.
I do.
Deep
Some-
cuts
Yeah.
only.
Yeah, I
Deep
like
cuts.
some of his songs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, his singles are very.
They're singles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're yeah. He's got some cool
Trying to do
stuff.
the postal service thing, but I like
Yeah,
I like them.
God, he just stole his voice. He's just like,
Yeah.
that's mine.
Yeah, really, really.
But
So
no, that's
Good
cool.
old Owl City.
Yeah. So when did you play your let's say your first? What did you start with, an open mic? Like when you got out in
Yeah,
front of
I
people?
probably. Gosh, I can't even. It's just like such a weird timeline at this point. I was doing so many things at the same time, like trying to figure out what to do. But I actually joined, and I was a front man for like a cover band when I was like 14, and so like I started out mainly like busking on King Street, so I used to go down there every single weekend and just like play until an hour later I'd be like, Mom, I'm tired, come get me.
until the homeless guy kicked you out.
Yeah.
Exactly,
right.
pretty
That
much.
was
I was
his
like,
corner.
that was
Here.
his corner, yeah. So, and it was weird because I was like the only one doing it at that point. Like it was just so long ago that like nobody was like, that's a thing you can do. But so I kind of had the market cornered, which was great.
Yeah.
But so somebody like saw me down there one day and he was like, oh, you have a great voice. Like we need a singer for our cover band. And I was like, oh, cool. Like I want to do that.
Sure.
So he
Why
had
not?
no idea that I was 14 at the time. And so we booked like all these, he like had all these gigs booked and I like started going to rehearsal with them. And he's like, is that your mom dropping you off? And I'm like, yeah, I can't drive, bro. He's like, oh, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 14 and it's too late for you to change your
Yeah.
mind. So
Oh.
I fronted that band for like a year and yeah, kind of then started writing my own stuff and getting inspired through that. But I just loved like the performing aspect of it. So that's always been like my number one goal is to be a performer.
So where is that band now?
Actually, like
In
the
a
guy
closet?
who hired me, like he works at Google now. He moved to LA, so
Oh,
he's
okay.
doing pretty well for himself.
All right.
I
Yeah,
assume.
okay.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know how much music he's doing, but
I was hoping for a funnier story, but
Yeah,
okay.
all right.
I'm
well,
sorry.
Well, good for him.
he's making money, and I am consistently spending it on musical equipment.
Of course.
Yeah. Sounds good.
That doesn't stop ever.
I know.
Oh,
Very cool. So coming back home for this. So tell us about your tour that you're on right now. Is this just a couple of shows that you put together for this couple of weeks, or it's a longer situation?
I guess I consider myself consistently on tour. It's just mostly a weekend thing. So half of my band is in school. They're at Belmont. These two guys are at Belmont University in Nashville. So they're free on the weekends. So we try to book weekend stuff, and then when I'm in town during the week, I'm writing with people, trying to do in town shows and that kind of thing. So yeah, we do a lot of stuff, a lot of long weekends, that kind of thing. Labor Day was a perfect opportunity because they had Friday and Monday off. So yeah, we headed out and this
having
weekend.
Off.
Well, having
off and skipping class.
Skipping.
Zach only has classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Really?
Yeah.
I have class every single day.
We just pretend
You
that he
skip
doesn't.
class.
I end up skipping class, but
So
I guess the next question is how did you guys all come to meeting?
Yeah.
Well, I met Zach. My former drummer Ben, who I wrote a lot of stuff with and recorded a lot of stuff with when I was here in Charleston. They were random assignment roommates when they both transferred to Belmont. So that was kind of just a lucky thing. Yeah. And then Jeff, I just met at a party.
yeah.
Party on, man.
I met both of them at a party randomly that I threw at my apartment.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Zach
and we
showed up
just
first.
Isn't that how it always happens?
Yeah,
No.
Just recently, it was a couple years after knowing Jeff that I heard him play drums for the first time, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
cool.
No
Want to
one,
do some
No one
gigs?
that I knew in college for about a year and a few months had ever heard me play drums. So no one knew. They're just like, oh, he just has drums in his apartment.
He likes drums.
He
I
just
don't
has parties with drums sometimes.
Yeah. But yeah.
Little
been fun.
conga circles and. It's funny. We spearheaded the music business program at the college we were at because it was brand new when we were there at Catawba College in Salisbury, and the head of that program always said that he was attempting to model our program after Belmont.
Interesting.
So
Did he? Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah, I remember watching a PowerPoint presentation.
Guess
about
I missed that day.
Skipped that one. You were on tour, probably.
No, I was really bad. It was well, our music history classes and stuff were always 8 in the morning. He and I lived right across the a little tiny courtyard, literally 30 seconds to walk out of our building.
I could have done the class
building.
from my room,
probably,
Wow.
if she was willing to do it outside of the window.
Yeah, but I liked sleeping in a little bit.
Yeah,
That's
I
me too.
totally understand that.
But it's also, when you go to school, if you go to school for music, they knock out most of your music classes right in the beginning, and then you're kind of stuck with a bunch of gen eds.
Yeah, you're taking physics right now. I'm like, why do you need physics?
Yeah, what's going to do with physics? Being a rock star, it doesn't make any sense.
That's what I kept saying
The
to myself.
physics
Yeah.
of being
We're gonna be a rock star, right?
Yeah. I know.
And just look at us now.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I kind of feel the opposite. I'm always in the gen ed stuff, and I'm barely in the major related things. And it's okay, when is it going to be over? When can I do the fun stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at least
They make you wait till the end, so you have to stay there the whole 4 years.
that's probably the better way to do it.
Yeah.
'Cause I could have just gotten out of the first year and learned everything I had learned at that
because
point.
our music block, I think I did in the first 2 years.
Yeah,
After
we
that,
were
was
done.
Just,
it was literally gen eds.
Then it was business. It was music business, so we did our business.
which were outdated by 4 years. Because everything was changing so quickly.
Right, yeah.
So we were reading books on our own, just we got to get ahead of this.
Yeah,
But,
and
uh,
the program's great. It's a bit strange for us because we transferred in. I transferred after 2 years. Jeff transferred after 1, right?
Yep.
And,
I was a sophomore when I first came to Belmont.
I'm now a super senior, and he's now never gonna graduate.
Well,
It's because of
Hey,
all
at
the
least you
class
tried,
he's
Jeff.
skipping.
I know. Yeah,
That's all
if
that
I keep
matters.
skipping
Yeah,
classes-
Jeff, I didn't even try. So
yeah,
wow, that's
hard.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's hard.
yeah.
But we're having fun. We're having a lot of fun.
Well,
so,
we wish you luck, and that's interesting. Like I said, I have never actually met anybody from Belmont. So, do you like it? It's a good program, or
The fact that I never lived on campus makes it
Ah.
so much better.
Oh.
But
they have a lot of weird rules.
They've got some odd rules,
do you,
but
do you get any credit for all of the touring and everything you're doing?
No.
No. Okay.
I tried to call them because I knew I was going to miss a lot of class. And I was like, hey, I'm going to miss class because I'm doing this music stuff. And they're like, nope.
Nope.
can't
They're
help
like,
you."
sorry, bummer. We hate music at Belmont University.
It's a
Wow.
really cool environment because they'd hear that so much if they allowed for that exception, because everyone does it, which is cool on one hand, but on the other hand, I suppose it makes it tough for them to work with, so they just don't.
I mean, there's tons of artists that have come from Belmont. The only one that I know that actually graduated is Brad Paisley.
But yeah,
I was trying to think. Didn't Maroon 5 come from there, or was that Berkeley?
Florida Georgia Line sure did.
They were Berkeley.
But they dropped out probably because the same thing. Belmont was like, nope, you can't do that.
You know, I saw the other day that Florida Georgia Line sold the most or made the most money off of record sales last year.
Wow,
really?
Yeah. Remember we had that whole thing we talked about?
I don't remember that. Florida. I don't remember that band name at all.
Yeah, that was the number one.
Okay.
Our band loves Florida Georgia
It's
Line.
a Florida Georgia Line hat right here.
Oh, well then.
Yep.
So I was wondering when I talked to Katie through email, your manager, that you said you were performing, I guess, Friday night, right? And then we said, okay, well, the show is Sunday. When I heard tour, I thought, you might would be on your way, but I guess you're probably here also getting to see some family.
Yeah. We love coming here, obviously, because we always have a good place to stay. My family's from here, so we get to kind of hang out around Charleston and explore. So we always try to plan to come here for as long as possible. So we got here Wednesday night, actually, and we've been here. We're leaving tomorrow, so we had a good long weekend. We always try to get some fun, get some food in.
Nice. 3 days of
3
class.
3 days of class that I'm
oh my God! You better make it fast.
Yeah.
I know. My favorite joke is like, oh, guys, are we not famous yet? This sucks.
Oh gosh.
Well, you're looking at your future right here.
Yeah,
it's
that's
really
right.
fun. Hey, if this is it, this seems awesome to me.
We thought the same thing about 15 years ago.
Yeah. It was sooner than that, but yeah. We're not that old, Nick. Jesus.
And we're getting there.
Yeah, well. God.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
We played the Windjammer, though. It's a
a
really
great
cool
place.
venue.
It's a really, I mean, it sounds great in there, like, despite some of the people that come through there are terrifying, but it's a really fun venue to play.
They have their own sound guys, and especially inside. I saw a concert very recently. Edwin McCain was playing there.
Yeah,
which is
he
really
played
cool.
out on the beach stage.
Yeah.
That's my, dream. I'd love to, my dream is, someday, when I make it, quote unquote, you can't see my air quotes, but I would love to, do, a hometown show out there on the beach stage, because I've played the inside a few times, but that Nash Next competition we did was outside on the beach stage, so I was like, ooh.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Well,
Here's just a little glimpse into my hopeful future.
That also sounded great, but I think it's amazing what they can do on the inside, because
they got the lighting rig and everything. I mean, the guys there are really top notch.
So how did you get into this contest? What is this contest? And then you won, so tell us about it.
So Nash Next is a competition they do through the Nash FM stations all around the country.
Oh, okay.
And so they've done it differently through the years, but this year you submit an original song, and then there's a fan voting period where you try to get people to vote for you, that kind of whole thing. And then they picked, I believe, 7 or 8 finalists from however many, 30 or something, that entered the local. So each market, so Charleston market, the Nash FM 96.9 station sponsors it, and they picked 7 or 8 of us to perform live. So that's what we did on Thursday. We just get one song, and just put it all out there at the Windjammer, and we ended up coming in first place. So now they send all the markets send their winner their information to the corporate office, and they pick then 10 people to compete in the final.
And then is that when you...
And that's in Nashville.
Do you fight, get
I think
swords,
you fight.
and you just go to the death?
I think it's a joust this year.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good.
That's even better.
But
Finally.
I think it's pretty much the same deal, but maybe 3 songs. I don't know. But then they pick another winner, and that winner gets a record deal with Big Machine. So we figured it was worth a shot.
So you'll get to play regardless, or they pick a group out of the winners?
They pick
and then...
now a group of 10 out of all of the winners from the local. So I have no idea how many that is. I would guess 30.
Yeah.
So maybe we got like a 1 in 3 shot of getting in there, but we'll see.
Be pretty cool to be a part of
It would
T
be.
Swift's record deal.
Yeah, why not?
I'm telling you what. I'm telling you what. It'd be pretty dang cool. Lady Antebellum just joined Big Machine as well.
Oh, good. Well,
big fans of theirs.
T Swift might be leaving though. I hear soon.
She better. I just saw her in Nashville a couple weeks ago. I saw her tour, and I was like,
oh, I thought you meant like personally.
No.
She's not really country anymore, is she?
No. Although one time I was 2 seconds away from meeting her in Target
We
because
lived
she
right across the street from a Target, and she
was
made
the worst
an
day of my
appearance
life.
there.
I was 2 seconds too late. But I just honestly, she could disappear and never make another album after this, and I would just be like, you did the right thing. You're just amazing.
I feel the same way. We give her a hard time on this show.
I don't.
I do.
I
think she's a good songwriter.
I think it's funny because the last time she was in Charleston, it was. I mean, it was.
They shut the city down.
It was big news. She was on King Street. You know,
She stayed on Isle of Palms.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, they would close shops down, and then her security people would go in there, and then she'd shop around, and then move on to the next store. Man, it's crazy.
Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
So it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of her songs. Did you know that?
I did not.
Well, yeah, he's a big fan. But
I am such a big fan.
he loves Taylor Swift. Love Story, just that is a boy's dream right
It
there.
really is.
Romeo and Juliet.
My wife saw her open for big country star.
Rascal Flatts?
No. Older guy.
Or no, Toby.
I can't think of it. Anyway,
Toby Maguire.
Tobey Maguire? Spider-Man?
Spider-Man, old Spider-Man.
no. Old school country artist with the white shirt and the blue jeans.
That's all of them?
That's,
literally
yeah.
all.
I know.
Have you been to Nashville?
I'm sorry. I can't think of his name.
Did he also wear a cowboy hat?
Yeah.
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 All right, that narrows it down to 10,000 people.
I think boots too.
Yeah, boots.
Boots,
Yeah,
probably.
All right. Okay.
Big belt buckle.
We're getting there. Yeah.
I feel very stupid because
Did he carry a gun?
When I think of his
Play
name,
guitar?
it's gonna anyway. Yeah. No, definitely. Anyway, she saw him or her open for him.
Oh, okay. Well,
way back in the day.
Yeah.
yeah, back before she was
Yeah.
somebody.
Before she was a celebrity.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome.
So it goes.
That's-
Well, but we're not talking about
yeah,
her.
right. I'm sorry.
I'll talk about her all night, so be careful.
Okay.
Be
All right.
careful.
Okay. All right.
Be careful.
So, you consider yourself in the country genre? Is that
Yes, I do. It's getting wider and wider these days. There's a lot of controversy surrounding it, but I think as long as you're making music that people can relate to and comes from the heart, and there's a guitar in it somewhere, you got yourself a country song more or less. But I would definitely say that my last EP that I released back in April is definitely like country rock. It's all live band recording, and we got my trusty fiddle player who is sadly unable to make it tonight, but Ryan Gilmore, he's been with me since I started playing my own music, full band and all that stuff. So he's been playing with me for about 4 years now, and he definitely throws that country in whenever it's walking the line, he pulls it back to country. So we're very grateful for him.
Because that's all country is anymore,
George
right?
Strait?
George Strait.
George
There you
Strait.
go.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's my kind of country. I love that stuff.
Sorry.
Yes.
Country is rock, pop with a twang,
blanked,
right?
I blanked. I blanked on the name.
That's
George
Pop
Strait.
with a twang, rock with a twang,
Yeah.
whatever you want it to be.
This was back in late '90s or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
that's
George
Strait.
George Strait's the king of country.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy of mine, Jimmy Allen. He.
I know him.
I went to school or high school with him. So one year I won a talent
cool.
show. The next year he won a talent show. And we were in theater together and all
He's
that.
doing great right now.
He's really
Oh my
doing well.
gosh,
Yeah.
must be so excited for him.
Oh yeah, he opened up for Toby Keith in Delaware, and now he's doing little tours. But he, great guy. He's really humble. He's very big about staying in touch with all his friends.
Yeah,
in
that's
hometown.
awesome.
Reaches out all the time. But he, he was a rock guy. His favorite band was Matchbox 20.
Oh,
and
classic.
mine was Goo Goo Dolls. And so it was really, it was funny. He's like, I tried that kind of music for a while, and I just couldn't break the barrier. So he added a little twang.
Yeah.
Boom.
And then
he's
boom,
in.
yeah,
He's gone.
I saw him perform at a country radio seminar earlier this year. He was really good.
Oh, yeah.
Really,
Great,
really good.
great performer. Nice guy. Very happy for him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so there you go. Somebody from Delaware. I bet you didn't know they existed.
Hey.
I did not think that was a real place that
We're
people
in
were
Delaware.
from. So.
Yep, slower, lower Delaware. That's where he's from. There you go.
Gosh.
Yep.
Or we like it down south. That is. That's it.
So that must be so. What made you move to Nashville? I mean,
it was definitely hard. Like growing up in a place like Charleston, obviously it's hard to leave. But after like a couple years, I kind of felt like there was just a little bit of a ceiling here. I mean, and I stay in touch with. I'm really good friends with like all the people from like all the country stations here. Like I've definitely made my rounds with Girl Scout cookies and all that stuff. Like going in and like.
Do you have any with you now?
Yeah.
I know,
Are
right?
you still a member?
It's not. I think season's about to start, isn't it?
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love all of our Charleston people, and Brian Cleary, Bill West, obviously the people at Nash FM. They still call me up and say, "Hey, we're doing this. You should be part of it." So I love all my Charleston people. But I figured that if all my friends, all my former bandmates were moving away, going to college, and I was like, well, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do that, so I better do something. So I moved out to Nashville, and it was definitely the right decision. There's just so much going on there, especially for the specific genre that I have found myself in. So.
We've had a couple of friends move there that didn't find success.
Well, maybe not yet. I mean, we got Cannon Cox,
he's doing well. Is that where
he's doing well? I know he is too.
Yeah, he's building up.
So we went to college with him. We went to college with him. He played with us for a while.
Yeah, he's a good guy. But he's coming a long way as a songwriter, and
we want to get him on this show.
I know. I just gotta call him and be like, dude, you want to just come on? He's really nice about this stuff, but still,
I haven't seen him in since college.
I know he is thin. Like
I know
he remember when we were in college together? He was a bigger kid, man, and he was like we would play ultimate frisbee, and he was like a Power Ranger because he would always do this thing. Always very epic. And then a couple years ago, he just hit the gym and just he's got abs and all this. I'm like, dang, good for you, bro.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I was thinner.
Gotta live up to that Luke Bryan standard.
I know it, man. Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
Tim McGraw.
Two people that we know that
that's so
that's
cool.
interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. Small world.
I guess Nashville is smaller than it
I
seems.
guess.
It definitely is. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, wow.
I went to Nashville one time in my life, and I was in the band in high school, and after marching season, they did a trip every other year. We had a very large band, and normally that trip was to the Bahamas. Well, my sophomore
sounds so much better.
Right. Well, here's the thing. My sophomore year was right after 9/11, and so
perfect timing.
Right. So they said, "Well, we'll go to Nashville."
Yeah,
and we were all like, "What?"
No Bahamas.
Yeah.
Right.
So we saw the Parthenon.
Soak up
there.
The sun. And
I still haven't seen it, so
I haven't been there.
That thing is, I'm going to tell you, it's wild because you're driving along and all of a sudden...
There it is.
There it is. In the middle of Nashville.
Yeah.
We did also go to the Grand Ole Opry.
I haven't been there either.
Really? You haven't been to the Grand Ole Opry?
Yeah, you better get there.
I'm the worst.
Jimmy's played there twice.
I know. I need to go check it out.
The problem with it was that we went... My group was in the late showing of it, and so my dad has a photo of the entire band asleep.
Yeah.
Because it's like midnight, and after like 10 commercial breaks, and you're like, when is this ever going to end?
Wow.
So there we go.
The only thing I got from Nashville is just Dave Ramsey. That's how I'm getting out of debt.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
I do really like the Country Music Hall of Fame though. That's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So
it's classic. Zach has a membership.
Oh, how with do you write with a lot of different songwriters?
Yeah, so that's definitely one of the biggest kind of differences I think from Charleston to Nashville. Like before I started making trips there, I had no idea really what co-writing was. It just seemed like such a personal thing, songwriting. But when I started making trips up there, I kind of realized that there's just a whole other side to songwriting that I'd never really seen. And so whenever I'd meet people like at open mics or anything, like anybody that I liked their song, I just, just some 16-year-old kid, I'm like, hey, you want to write a song with me? And most of the time they're like, no, not really. But this one guy, my first ever Nashville co-write was a friend of mine, Patrick Thomas. They were down here doing this like Country Legends show, which is a national tour they do, and they do it with symphony orchestras from different cities. So they did it with the Charleston Symphony, and I was hired as a backup singer for it. So I learned all these like classic country songs, and this guy, he was on The Voice and all that stuff, and he came and he was like the guy singer, and there was a girl as well, and I really liked his voice, and he was so nice, and I was like, I know this is like such a long shot, but can I give you my CD, and like I'd love to write with you. And he you know, we made it happen. He was gracious enough to take a chance on me, and we actually wrote my single "Ought to Be." That was my first song I ever wrote in Nashville as a co-write. So I know I sent you guys over that one, but if anybody out there hasn't heard it, they can find it on my Spotify and stuff. So
there you go.
Yeah, it turned out well for a first song. You know, it's kind of like a weird like blind date. A little bit, you know, when you go, like, that's kind of what I like compare it to. People ask me, like, what's it like? It's like definitely like going on a first date.
And they say that the word no is not allowed in the room. So I've heard that from certain songwriters. I mean that from a songwriting standpoint. If the line is like, you don't like the line.
No,
I know it does.
No means no.
Nick. But if you like say a line and instead of saying no, well, why don't we try this?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of, you want to be encouraging. You want to always try to see, you know, what they're going for or anything like that. But yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
You can only say no when people, like when you're really close to people, you're like, no, that sucks. Move on.
Yeah.
We're trying to write a good song.
My favorite line is, listen, I know this isn't it, but what if it was like?
And I'd be like, no.
It's like a classic. It's like a classic disclaimer for
Haley,
like, I know this isn't it.
Get the hell out. That is not good.
Pretty much.
I'm pretty mean when it comes to songwriting. No, I try to be nice and open, but
we mentioned that we've talked to a lot of Canadian artists.
Yeah.
One of them recently was named Tia McGrath, whose husband was a Nashville Row songwriter.
Cool.
For a while.
Yeah.
So that was actually, we talked to her very recently on this show, so that was pretty cool to hear about kind of the classic songwriting in Nashville, how that worked. Yeah. And it's interesting because she was like, yeah, you know, there's just a lot of people in a room writing a song.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, the most songwriters I've ever been in like the same room as is 3, including myself. But I mean, I know a lot of the hits are written with like 5, 6 people.
Isn't that crazy?
It seems like so overwhelming to me, but I'm sure when they're all top of the top, you know, as many as you can get in a room is amazing.
But Freddie Mercury, you know, he wrote Bohemian Rhapsody on his own. I don't. What is the No.
Yeah.
Even though it sounds like it was written by like 30 different personalities.
I mean, okay. Yeah, you win. So, speaking of songwriting, we hear you've got a song.
Yes, I'm very excited about this.
Yes. Is this the chance to play the live song?
It is.
Is that the segue that I'm hearing?
Well, I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. I mean,
it's happening.
You can eat some pizza, I guess.
I mean,
I don't have any pizza.
If you're telling me there's been pizza this whole time. No, I would love to play you guys a new one. I've been working on some new music. Oh, I mean, always, but wrote this one with my friend Jerry Jacobs that I played with this weekend, and we'd love to do a little acoustic version of it.
Did you play this in the competition?
No. I played another song I wrote with him in the competition, though.
Okay.
Well, very cool.
Well, we're going to mute ourselves, and So introduce the song, and
yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead and hit that real quick for me. Yeah, I think that's.
We better be good, Nick. No, he's good.
All right, I turned it down a little bit. It should be good.
Cool.
Yeah. So introduce it and take it away.
Absolutely. This is a brand new song that we're working on, and it's called Ghost Stories. My friends are all out at that Friday bonfire. First time I've been out since you said goodbye. They're looking at me like they all want to know about how I've been since we went up in smoke. I'll tell them how I fall asleep dreaming of you and wake up into a nightmare. I'll tell them at night I see you pulling the drive even now that you're not there. I'll tell them how I hear you talking on the phone. When I call, there's no one home. You're gone, but I ain't alone. Boy, you know how to haunt me. And I'm telling ghost stories. Yeah, I'm telling ghost stories. They tell me that I should get out on the town, but I can't seem to get out of this haunted house. I've been facing my demons, they ain't nowhere to hide. Someone get me a priest, please get God on the line. I'll tell them how I fall asleep dreaming of you and wake up into a nightmare. I'll tell them at night I see you pulling the drive even now that you're not there. I'll tell them how I hear you talking on the phone. When I call, there's no one home. You're gone, but I ain't alone. Boy, you know how to haunt me. And I'm telling ghost stories, yeah. I'm telling ghost stories, yeah, yeah. If all my prayers and promises can bring our love back from the dead, maybe if you'd hear me out, I'd put it all to rest. I'd tell you how I fall asleep dreaming of you and wake up into a nightmare. I'd tell you at night I see you pulling the drive even now that you're not there. I'd tell you that I'm wishing, waiting by the phone for you to call and come back home. Boy, don't leave me alone. I need you more than you know. If there's even a chance, take my hand so I won't be telling ghost stories, yeah. 'Cause I'm telling ghost stories, yeah.
Wow.
Very good. I like that,
was
song.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's a really good
Thank
song.
you.
Yeah, it's very catchy.
Great. You know, the cool thing now
Yeah.
is we got that recorded.
Yeah.
It's all ours.
Yeah.
That's
So,
right.
you
And
know.
if you go to our iTunes page, no.
Exclusive
Derek Daisy.
for download acoustic version.
Derek
right.
Daisy with a female voice
yeah.
changer. No.
Amazing.
God,
Yeah, thank you so much.
That was
Yeah,
great. That
very
was
good.
very, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the harmonies either. That sounded great.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else to say.
Hit them with that harmony.
Yeah, it's great, man.
I will say the actual track is it's
fire.
Just, yeah,
I'm really
I would
looking
call
forward
it
to
fire.
it's really good.
When's that coming out? I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to getting that one.
Where can I
Man,
buy one?
If
Yeah.
I knew. But Zach here has been producing all my new stuff, so he's
Hey.
doing a bang up job. I've never recorded music in the Nashville way before, which is, just piece by piece.
Oh, yeah.
Building it all up track by track, and it's so weird for me because I'm like, what do you mean you don't go in the studio and then it's done?
No, piece it by piece.
So
Lot-
it's
lot
really
cheaper
cool,
that
though.
way, too.
It's really, really cool to watch it come together. So
You mentioned earlier that your tracks have been recorded live. So do you normally go in and do a session with the whole band?
yeah. Every other song I've ever recorded really has been with a live band in the studio, and we just do like as many takes as we think until we get like one good solid one, and then you pull from the other ones to piece it all together. But usually there's one that's like the main recording, and then you kind of build off of it, piece stuff together if there's a mistake or anything like that. But yeah, so it's a different world altogether, but it's really, really cool.
Well, it really pays off, and you can tell, especially in this kind of a setting, because, you're coming into a studio you've never been in before in front of microphones you might not be used to, and to be able to pull it off like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Very tight, sounds really
Thank
nice.
you.
Sounds great, yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Very good song.
So,
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that
The
song.
tough part's over, guys.
now are you going to use this in the next round of the competition that you're sure to win?
Oh, I mean, if we get to play, in Nashville for the finale, I'm sure we'll be breaking that one out.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
That is a very good song.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm wondering what your normal recording. Well, actually, tell us about the song a little bit.
Yeah. So that song is like I said, I wrote it with my friend Jerry, and we write together a lot, so we're very comfortable, saying no when our lines suck, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, he came over to my house one day. We had to write, and we're usually we just the first 30 minutes are catching up and going through our notes on our phones for any song titles. We're very similar in the way that we like to start with a title, which is I think how a lot of Nashville people do it. But it's cool. So we're going through, and I'm like throwing a couple out, and nothing's really stuck yet. And he's like, I have this one title. It's like Ghost Stories, and I'm like, okay, like explain, because sometimes you have something written down and you don't really know what it is. You just like think it sounds cool, but he was like, I don't know, like it just seems like when you talk about like an ex, you could think of that like telling a ghost story, like, you know what I mean? Somebody that just, people say, oh, they ghosted, so we tried to take it, a little bit more of a serious route than but the term like ghosted is kind of where like it came from. So
well, I'll tell you, some of my exes still haunt me. So
that's what I'm saying. So all the all the imagery and all the terminology was just like coming together right off the bat, and I was like, so we're thinking about the first verse, and I'm like, oh man, we gotta set it up like something about like the campfire thing, because that's just where you tell ghost stories. So it really, I mean, that song just kind of like fell right out, which is always the best, because it's not a 4 or 5 hour write, it's like a 2 hour write, and you're done and you go get lunch and everybody's happy. So but I forgot about the song. I'm ashamed to say I forgot about the song for a little while. It was just like a voice memo in my phone, and I never thought of it as like a girl song even. But I'm like sitting with him one night, we're like going through, he's like, we should make some more songs. I'm like, yeah, we should. He's like, what do you got? I'm like, I don't know, let me look at my voice memos. So
I saw that one on there.
We found it.
She was saying like, she wasn't sure, like she said, if it was a girl song or what it would be like for her, if it was her style. And I heard it and I was like, I know exactly what that's going to sound like, and it's going to be awesome. We got to do it. I don't know. I pictured it and the vision came true, and
yeah, it sure did. There's a lot of really cool elements, excuse me, in the full version that hopefully, will be out there in the world sometime soon.
Did you, did it organically fall out, verse, chorus, and then go through that?
Yeah. A lot of people that I know do, instead of voice memoing just like at the end, a lot of people I know voice memo the whole right.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to have to start doing that so I can recall these things, because it's so interesting, like, to have those aha moments kind of when you're writing. But yeah, it just like we started with the first verse, and a lot of times we start with the chorus. So we started with the first verse. We set it up really well, I think, with the imagery and everything. And then, just went into the chorus. And it was just like, okay, what is this going to be like? How are we going to lay this out? And it just really, it flowed from beginning to end. And the biggest question I feel like is, are we going to have to write a bridge for this song? And the answer was yes for this one. But it, if all my prayers and promises can't bring our love back from the dead, maybe if you'd hear me out, I put it all to rest. So I think this is one of those songs that I love. I love when a chorus can flip and mean something else. So the first two, it's talking about, in the first verse, it talks about, you're talking to your friends. So it's, I'll tell them, I'll tell my friends. And then the second verse is, somebody get God on the line is the ending line. And so then it's, I'll tell him, I'll tell him, you know what I mean? And then so the last verse is, after the bridge, it's, I'm talking to you. No, you're talking to the ex or whatever. And, if I could just lay this all out there on the line, maybe I could finally let it go. Maybe if you just hear me out. So then it's, I'd tell you. So that's when it flips at the end. And there's a couple line changes that just came across really clever. And I love how the song turned out. I think it's definitely one of my proudest moments songwriting wise. So I'm glad you guys liked it.
Oh yeah.
I think Derek obviously more than me, but we appreciate songwriting and the ability. I don't feel like I can write a song. Certainly not the way he can and what this is like. But I can appreciate the talent behind that, and I've seen a lot of it, in college and so forth. So it's cool to hear it. What you just laid out there, that whole mindset and that process that you went through. It's cool to hear that, because if you were to go tell that to your friends that are not musically inclined, maybe they're like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Play the song.
Exactly.
But for us, it's always that's one of the things we've really enjoyed about the show. I think is that we've met a lot of people and heard a very eclectic range of how they come up with things, and so it's just for me, it's cool. It's cool to hear it.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that, and I mean, it sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
We heard the music, your recordings, and they were great.
Yeah.
And so I was really excited, but I'm telling you, there's something different when you see it live and you hear it click.
Yeah, because they sent. I think I was the first one to get that email.
You
I was
were.
like, she was really good.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, see what we could do about getting her on here.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we got to come in person. I've done some kind of interviews and things like that over the phone, but it's always so much better when I can come in person, and especially when I've got these guys around, and it makes it just such a blast. So thank you guys for
make yourselves useful,
for
guys.
making it happen.
Let's go.
Why don't you get up and do something?
Yeah, I know, right?
I can tell you're just itching to play more. I can tell. I'm looking at you. You got the itch. He wants to play more.
Well, the past 3 days we've been doing like gigs, and I'm like, oh, this is the time where we're supposed to be
playing,
jamming out.
Yeah,
we do need a rest probably. So.
See, I'm ready to go again. Let's go. I'm ready.
Jeff's like, are you sure we can't book another gig tonight? I'm like, we have one. It's like the chillest gig ever. Don't worry, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, and you're out here in Somerville. And
That's right.
Just make sure to eat at Cookout.
Now, yeah.
Oh, my God.
There's one right around the corner.
Yeah. No, come on. Diabetes is great.
I know.
Taco Bell, yes.
No, food poisoning is not worth it.
Did you guys know I applied for Feed the Beat today, which is Taco Bell's like musicianship sponsor program.
Really?
Yeah, they the touring bands, they give you like, if they add you their program, they'll like, when you go out on the road, they like comp your Taco Bell whenever you use them. So I love Taco Bell, and I saw
really
that.
Try hard for that.
I mean, I filled out the entire application, and it was lengthy. So
we have jobs that we drive to.
Yeah,
I know, right?
We could tell them that we're touring.
Something.
Something.
That's right. Yeah,
you should. You should give it a shot.
I could fill out paperwork. I'm good at it. Hell yeah.
You need a headshot too.
I can take one of those. Let's go to the bathroom. I'll go look in the mirror.
Selfie.
Yeah,
grab a selfie.
We've got some headshots from a few years ago that are still pretty good. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Oh man. Okay, we're done. We win.
You win, honestly.
We played with there was a trio of us that played a few years back, and we went downtown Charleston and had a photo shoot in a parking garage.
Yeah.
Haven't we all?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's where you do
a
it.
classic right there.
There were some good ones. I was
There's some
looking
good
through there.
ones.
I was
There's
like,
some good ones.
Some pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's all black and white.
yeah.
And,
Get angsty looking.
Yeah.
Too serious to look
Of
at the
course.
camera.
Yeah, we're looking
Oh,
off in the
yeah.
distance like we don't care.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So-
That's the name of the game.
Yeah, that's right.
So this is your normal band, right? You guys are always. Who's missing here?
Ryan, my
fiddle.
fiddle player. We also have a bassist that we just started playing with recently. His name's Lee. He's awesome. He's a Nashville native, which is very rare.
Yeah.
very
He has
cool.
a 615 phone number and everything, so he's
Wow.
legit. But yeah, we just started playing with him last month or something.
Yeah.
So and he's awesome too. So that's our usual. We got 5.
So
total.
a 5-piece then.
Yes.
Do you like that for your type of music?
Yeah,
pretty well, or?
I think it's great. I like to have keys when we can, but traveling is kind of hard to fit everybody in the van. So
that's another thing I like to ask. What's the traveling situation? Are you guys in a van down by a river?
We just upgraded.
Or?
We just got a van.
Whoa.
I just
Really?
got a van. It's like a high top conversion van, so we got a TV in there. We got the Wii hooked up. We're playing
Excellent.
Super Smash when we're rolling down the road.
Yeah,
It's
I remember driving and them
pretty great.
arguing over who was going to win.
Well, we're it's loose. I'm playing Super Smash, and they're
Smashing
trying to.
buttons.
Oh, I mean, I don't think you remember when I beat you. So
Well, I chose.
Wow.
I chose a bad character.
that's your fault, not mine.
now you know where the real competition lies within everybody.
Exactly.
As the world turns here, Super Smash Brothers. I was never very good at it either. I always
Attention
died.
builds,
Yeah.
really, when
Yeah.
we're in the
Quick.
van.
My favorite thing to play that I always lost at was GoldenEye. I was terrible at GoldenEye.
That was further back, dude. N64.
Yeah.
They weren't even born
There was
yet.
a Super Smash Brothers on N64.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, Zach's only 12.
No.
He gets that a lot. He gets that a lot.
Yeah,
though.
what's the ages?
Yeah.
We want to guess first, I think. You should probably
No,
guess.
I never guess. Never.
All right, so we'll put.
I've gotten in
hold
too
on.
much trouble.
We won't be offended.
Oh, well, we're...
It's a
Not at
fun
all.
game.
It's a
All
fun
right,
game.
We're gonna play closest to the pin here, Derek.
All
All
right.
right, well,
Okay.
they're in college. Well, these two are in college.
All right, hold on.
I'm a mystery. I
Hold
have
on.
no
I
idea.
don't. Yeah, you keep talking down to
All
college.
right, here we go. All right.
All right, here we go.
All right, little game show here. Game show segment.
Yeah, we normally do a game.
Yeah, why
but-
didn't you plan one?
with the live music?
God
Here it is.
dang it!
Here's the game.
Yeah,
Are
here's
you
your
kidding?
chance.
This is the
Let's
game.
You got it.
We got 10 minutes.
All
Let's
right,
do it.
here we go.
10.
All right, so let's start with. Let's
Oh,
start
I
with,
thought you meant 10 minutes to guess. I was
Oh,
like,
oh.
that's a long time. There's going to be like a lot
All right.
of silence here.
I'll see
One,
you guys in an
2,
hour.
3.
No, okay, so we're gonna start left to right here.
All right.
So we'll start with Jeff. Now,
Jeff was about to say how
His
old
own
he was.
age?
He was about to guess for himself.
no, don't
Like,
guess.
I hope you're right.
Wait a minute, are you guys gonna guess too? Because that's unfair.
No. We'll be mum. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right, so you're in college.
Correct. For maybe not too much longer, though.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right.
Stop giving him hints. It's only like a 4-year
funnier
range.
if
20,
we just go.
20,
What do you think?
23, because he wouldn't be having parties as a... he might have as a 21-year-old. Maybe.
I'm gonna go 23,
In one penny. No,
23.
22, 21.
no he's...
Ooh.
Really? But he's a super senior.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
Oh,
so
he's been paying attention.
that's
right. Oh,
really
wow.
interesting. So you think Jeff is the oldest, then Haley, then me?
You know what? It's the facial hair, is what it is.
Yeah. Well.
That's true.
You're the
I should
super
grow-
senior.
I should grow
I was
mine
going to go
back out.
23 with you, too. Because I was like, super senior, you're 23.
I'm just trying to be nice.
That's
No,
very-
no niceties here. We just want to dig right into
I
it.
don't like to guess
Lay it
girls'
down.
ages.
Come on,
Hey, she
that
asked.
seems more.
I know
sexist.
she... no, I don't mean that. Oh, jeez. I have 5
Wow.
sisters.
Then they're gonna get
Back
that-
off.
Then you get to guess what our ages are. That's really gonna be fun. All right, Derek, come
all
on.
right, 22. And,
Wait,
yeah.
who?
Yeah,
Him?
her.
Her.
No, you're 23. I think you're 23. You're
All right.
super senior.
All right.
I mean, that's what I'm going to go with, unless you, like, went to college at 16. That's not fair.
I
smart
didn't
enough
hear
for it,
the
though.
super
He is
seniors, so
quarter
smart enough.
Japanese.
Japanese. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Let's not get into
He could have graduated.
Delicate.
All right, 16.
He's already got his PhD.
All right, so
right.
me and Jeff are both 22.
22.
Haley,
Wait, did you guess how old I am yet?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
said
thinks
22.
You're 22.
Okay.
I went 22.
What was yours? 22?
I
You
said
both guessed
I
22.
said 23, 22, 21.
Oh, you both guessed 22.
22.
Nice. I'm doing good.
yeah.
I'm
you
only
are.
20.
Oh,
Wow.
well,
Yep.
congratulations.
Well, then someone needs to.
The reason why I put you under
You snatch
21
the alcohol
because
away
I
from
never
you.
know with Windjammer.
Yeah, can you smell my breath? I hope not.
Well, the Windjammer,
Yeah.
don't they usually
They
check
don't
that
even
ID?
freaking let me go in there if I'm not playing. It's hilarious.
Well, that's
Oh,
what
wow.
I figured. That's why I put you over 21.
Yeah, me too.
Otherwise, I would have
I'll
stuck.
take it.
Okay, good.
I'll take it.
All right, good. And then you guys?
22.
22.
Both.
Yeah.
Well, I
22,
wasn't that
both.
far off.
Yeah, so
23 is not that far up. He's
Yeah.
closer to 23 than I am, though.
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
That's right.
Yeah, you guys have too much backstory, but when we play like live in Nashville, we'll ask like random people passing through town, like, how old do you think we are? And they'll be like, 14! Like, genuinely.
Genuinely, yeah.
You're like,
like,
oh, well, thank
All right,
you.
all right, so,
the most talented 14-year-olds I've ever seen.
we should start going with
you
it.
should.
Yeah.
We should.
Well, I got to shave
God.
first. I'll go
Yeah.
clean
No,
shave.
because I want them to buy me a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
oh,
right.
oh,
Yes.
oh,
True.
yeah.
True.
Sorry.
So how old are we?
Oh, that wasn't part of the game.
Yeah, that's totally
That's
part
not
of the
fair.
game.
You guys are talking about like
No,
Nintendo 64.
no.
I'm interested.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
interested to find out how old they
he's
think we
pegged
are.
us really old. So I know you guys are going to probably
Yeah.
overshoot.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Do
going to
it.
say 34.
Ugh.
They're the same. they're
Sorry,
like
Derek.
pretty close.
Oh, no. That
Go
means
ahead.
I've done something wrong.
All right, well, you continue.
Well, if that was...
No,
I'm gonna
no,
assume
you've
that was
made
too
your
much.
guess, brother.
I was gonna. Okay, I'm gonna go.
32.
Yeah,
32.
I'm gonna go 31 and 30.
Well, that was very close.
Yeah.
Very
What? All right.
close.
Wait.
What- what's
Oh,
yours?
God.
I messed up then.
All right,
Dang.
then. Well, we just gotta go keep going down then.
I like this game.
It's act like 16.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like this game.
14.
I mean, we got gray hair.
Yeah,
It's-
I have
so
a lot of
do
gray hair.
I. though.
Arr.
A lot.
There was a girl we went to
Alright.
college with who had black hair when in college. Now it's all gray.
I'm gonna be salt and pepper here really soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
I'm
went,
just gonna go with it.
Vanessa, she went completely gray.
Yeah.
She looks fine, but I mean, it was just like, whoa.
It's gonna be my look.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna go with it.
Yeah, I'm going to be there pretty soon. My dad was great at 35, so.
Oh, okay.
We're both 31. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm a couple of.
Yeah, it was so close.
34, you son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
I'm a couple of weeks older than him, actually.
He is.
Yeah.
About a month, almost a month
Is it
older
a full
than me.
month?
Yeah, because I'm January
Yeah,
27th.
that's
You're
right.
you're the 31st.
December 31st.
All right.
December 31st.
Not too bad,
overshot
guys.
that.
Yeah.
You really did.
Good
Thanks
job.
a lot. Makes me
You
feel
know-
really
All
good
right,
about
Jeff.
myself.
You've been voted off the island.
Oh no!
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like 20 and 24. Like that seems worlds apart.
Yeah.
But to me, at this
Right.
point in my life,
Yeah.
31 and 34 seems like the same thing.
You know,
I just
Read between the lines.
I'm going
It's
to tell you.
completely
I'm
different.
going to tell you what sucks is that Facebook likes to play the game where they put the meme up of the show that, premiered 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
yeah.
And they
Yeah.
all relate to
So
us.
all of the cartoons from Nickelodeon are now
Yeah.
30 years old or so. 25 years old.
Did you guys ever watch Slime Time? Probably
yeah.
not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was on Slime
I
Time
was
as a
on.
kid.
No
was on.
way.
No way.
As a
Yeah.
13-year-old fat kid,
Oh my god, that's amazing.
And he clapped
I
like
did.
this.
I clapped like a walrus. It was terrible.
Wow.
I
That
was
is pretty funny.
the oldest you could be was 13, and I was
Wow.
13, and everyone else was 8.
Everyone.
But I did win a bike.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, by
That's pretty
default.
cool.
We lost
Oh.
everything, and the other team picked the losing. Well, she was terrible.
Yeah.
It was all her fault.
Yeah, sure. Blame it
Sexist.
on her.
Yep.
blame it on
I
her.
sense
Sexism right there.
This hasn't totally been a resolved issue.
No, but they picked the losing number, so we won by default.
Wow.
Oh my
It
God.
was
They
awesome.
probably
I'm gonna
just
tell you,
had the,
this video is very sad. It's really depressing.
But tell them what slime tastes like. Have you ever wondered that?
No,
What the
I
green?
thought it was just like.
It's chocolate pudding.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's chocolate pudding
Oh,
with.
yeah.
Oh, that kind of bums me out.
Yeah,
Food
that kind of
coloring.
bums me. You know the slime that you can make as you
That's
were a
what I
kid with like
thought it was.
borax and stuff.
My
like
gosh,
gack.
I used to make.
Yeah, it's something like
Yeah, I
that.
used to make
recently,
that.
came back recently. My sister, there was slime all over the house. My mom was losing her mind.
Where's that shotgun sound, Nick? You're gonna die, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. The slime has come back. I used to make that all the time though.
But now the kids have like so much internet and apps. Like
Yeah.
my sister's like they're like entrepreneurs. These little like 10-year-olds. Like she's like
Yeah.
they're ready to sell it to all their friends at school. And, like,
But it's all the
Little
Instagram and
jerks.
stuff that they can post.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's chocolate pudding with green, food coloring. And after they shaboozied me, they didn't want to give me a shower either. So
Wow.
pretty
You
awful.
you imagine being covered in chocolate pudding all day at
And they just
Universal
send you
Studios,
home.
Florida?
But Zach and I love food, so the fact that I'd be covered in pudding, I'd start licking it off my arms.
yeah.
Well,
and
I'm
eating
sure he
shirt.
did. He was a fat kid. I
I
mean,
did.
that's what happened.
I
At
did.
heart, I am.
Is pudding food though?
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna vote no.
I would put pudding in the perfect food category right along with tater tots.
Oh yes.
Ah.
Oh,
Yeah, well, I might be hungry right now, but I don't want pudding.
There's a
though.
cookout
True.
right there. I'm
Oh,
just saying.
All right, well,
It's no Taco Bell.
is cookout is cookout food?
Cookout does have
Cookout is not food. It just disintegrates in your mouth, so it can't be food.
Cookout does have quesadillas though.
It's like 3D
So-
printed food. Like it's not.
But it's so good.
So okay, now like I said, I've been to Nashville once. We did have some decent food while we were there. Some not so good, but from people that live there,
Yeah.
what
Taco
foods-
Mamacita.
Taco Mamacita.
Hey, there's
No.
one of those. Did you know
No.
there's one
There
of those
was
on the
one.
beach?
There was.
There was. Yeah. Now it's home team.
R.I.P. Taco Mamacita.
I
Now
thought-
it's a weird pizza place.
I thought that was so funny that you go. It was pretty good.
Oh, the one in Nashville is like even better. They never went to the one here for some reason, and the one in Nashville is amazing.
It was
Taco
funny.
Mamacita.
They had a map on the wall here, and it showed the locations, which was Charleston, Nashville.
Yeah, there's only
and,
3. Why do they
Yeah.
need the whole
Yeah.
map?
So it was
Who
like
needs
the
a
people
waste
lived
of
in
paper?
Tennessee and just came here on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like,
Hey.
"Ooh, we should put a store here."
Yeah.
No,
It was
but,
like a reason to go to vacation, I guess, on Sullivan's Island.
Now we pride ourselves on our restaurants. So,
Yes.
where is the food better, here or in Nashville?
I mean, for
Depends what it
seafood,
is.
it's no contest. But I mean, I'm sure these guys. I'm a pescatarian, so I don't eat meat. Just eat
That's
seafood.
the
But
thing.
For these guys,
that's why you hate Cookout.
I'm sure they tell you that barbecue in Nashville
It's the barbecue.
is top
it
notch.
is the barbecue.
Really? Have
It
you been
is.
to Lewis's Barbecue?
No.
It's brand new downtown, right across from Home Team. It is phenomenal.
right across from Home Team. They're cooking up some
Actually,
competition.
yesterday was my first time ever going to proper. Oh no, maybe we did go down there once, but when we were here last.
Downtown?
Yeah.
I would say Home Team was the best we had, but Lewis gives it a run for its money.
I think Edley's in Nashville is the favorite.
And then there's other places where you can get fried chicken, McDougal's.
Because I understand
Hattie-B's.
Nashville is also a big foodie town, right?
Yes.
Very, very big.
There's like a lot of like Mexican food, really good, like Tex-Mex, all that kind of stuff. And then
that's
like
the thing.
chicken.
I don't eat
Hot
the same
chicken.
thing here that I would in Nashville, or vice versa. Because if you get like shrimp in Nashville,
You're like,
it's
where'd
where'd you
this
get,
come from?
Yeah, where'd you get that from? But
Yeah.
I'll tell you a quick story. While we were in Nashville, the strangest experience I've ever had. It was on our own day.
Yeah.
We were kind of walking around Nashville. We found on the outside it looked like a burger joint. Walked in, realized that it was a Tex-Mex based on what the menu had. There was very white rock music playing, and it was run completely by
What place?
black gentlemen.
it sounds like Satco.
It does kind of sound like Satco.
It sounds like San
That's
Antonio
what I was
Taco
thinking it
Company.
It was the very. I mean,
or Bar Taco.
Every time I go into Satco, though, they're playing like freaking Robert Plant's like latest live album.
That's
So-
what, it was like classic rock
Yeah.
station.
Yeah.
This was the strangest thing I've ever witnessed in my life. Not even being racist.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
didn't
well,
know.
okay.
We walked in like, what is this
Well,
place?
now I'm curious.
I think
what was
it's
the actual
probably
restaurant?
Satco.
I don't remember the name. It
I
was,
think
it
it
was
was San
totally.
It may have been Satco.
I'd be willing to bet that it was Satco.
It was just
that
some.
place
we
has
were
really good food.
We were walking around and saw it, and we were hungry, and that's where it ended.
That place is great.
Wow.
It is really good. It is good.
All right, well, I'd like to say that we really appreciate you guys coming,
Yeah, thank
being
you.
a part of this show, to the Echo Radio Show.
Thank you guys so much for having us.
Yeah.
Our list of artists is growing and growing, but we've only had a few people in studio. So, because
What
most
an
people
honor.
we talk to are not from here,
Right. Yeah.
And not coming here probably anytime soon.
Yeah.
in some cases.
And so, how long's the drive back to Nashville?
It's like 8.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We stop a considerable amount though, so it'll be closer to 9. I'm
You
sure.
drive.
also
You
don't
drive
have
straight.
the van.
Whose fault is that,
Mine.
dude?
Yes, it's Zach's. Zach
Just
is the
hold
worst.
it.
He's just like, I want a snack.
Well,
I want a
but-
Starbucks.
Buy more snacks
Yeah.
and then put them in the car.
He
I don't.
eats them all immediately.
I have Subway coupons and I have to
Yeah.
use them.
I am the snack person, though. I'm the snack person.
Jeff
I'll
is
spend,
the snack bearer.
I'll spend $30 in the gas station for snacks for everyone.
Every time.
I just want
Yeah.
coffee.
You're leaving tonight though, or
We're
No,
leaving
tomorrow.
yeah.
Tomorrow.
Tonight's our last night to hang out with Ryan because he still lives here. So
Oh, okay.
before we have to say our goodbyes.
Well, there you go.
Cool. And
Well-
you guys are going there right after this?
That's right.
Oh, man.
He's calling our name.
Good.
I can hear him.
Oh,
Yeah,
He's
good.
waiting for us.
Oh, man.
He's got the old camp ready.
Good.
Well, we wish you all the best. Good luck with your travels.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll go look you up on the contest.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that song to come out.
Yeah,
yeah.
me neither.
Now,
Right.
promote yourself real quick. Where can people buy the music? Where can they find you?
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, Haley Mae Campbell. That's pretty much all the social media. Haley Mae Campbell. Campbell like the soup, if that helps. And
Nice. I spelled it right.
everything is on HaleyMaeCampbell.com. So, yeah.
Very good.
Boom.
Now, we're going to play out the show with Blisters real quick. What is Blisters?
Yeah, Blisters is one of my singles. It's from my last EP that came out in April. So it's available everywhere if anybody wants to download it or any of that kind of thing. But yeah, it was a song I wrote by myself one late night after not. Yeah, no, I mean, the story goes that I had tickets to the CMA Awards and they ended up being fake. So I was all dressed up with nowhere to go, and I wrote Blisters about that.
Bummer.
that experience. So, but it turned into a fun song, and in my wildest dreams, Carrie Underwood picks it up. But for right now, it's all me.
Fingers crossed.
Well, we'll hope it just gets you famous.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, we don't need her.
So thanks again to Haley Mae Campbell
Thank
coming on the
you.
show, as well as her band, Jeff, Zach, and the others in absentia.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks,
You've
guys.
been listening to The Echo Radio. I'm Nick O'Kelly.
I'm Derek Daisy.
And this is Blisters.